All right, what's going on, Collider Games fans? I'm Joey Rassool, and we are here today to talk some Battle for Azeroth, and who could be better to talk about it here today than Marc Fernandez? Marc, how you doing?
Yeah, so look, I've been a WoW player since 2005 when I lost my favorite game of all time, Star Wars Galaxies, and I needed to have an MMO to play.
You needed a fix.
I needed a fix. I needed my MMO fix, and all my buddies went over to WoW, and then I went along with them. I played vanilla, and I level 60 and all those things. I never loved it, and to this day, I don't love it as much as Star Wars Galaxies, but it's probably one of the games, probably next to Madden, that I've logged the most hours in my entire life, and I've probably literally have lived a life inside World of Warcraft, which is not something I'm proud of necessarily. But look, it's an incredible piece of software. It's an incredible game. And yeah, I've been playing, I think you and I talked about this before, but I was playing it pretty regularly, in the last month leading up to Battle of Azeroth to just kind of prep myself for the expansion, get into it again. And it came out on Tuesday at 3 p.m. It came out, and I was I was dealing with some work stuff, and but I was counting the minutes to get home to try it. And when I got home to play it, and this is very well documented, the servers weren't working. Nobody could log on, and one of my buddies in my guild figured out a trick that by actually Blizzard made a tweet about it. They had in the BattleNet launcher, there was a little note that said the servers aren't working and you're gonna experience problems and all these things. A buddy of mine found a little hack that just setting in your network settings inside the Warcraft client, if you set, use IPv6 when available, if you just clicked on that, you bypassed the queue, you bypassed all the issues and got right into the game.
Oh, really?
So, and it worked, everybody, it went from everybody in the guild being in the lobby of Discord upset that they couldn't log in. And it went from this one guy found this one little hack that Blizzard hadn't figured out yet, I guess.
Yeah.
And we all got in. So I played quite a bit Tuesday evening. I played quite a bit last night, to the point where my warrior is around level. I think he's about to hit 116. So I'm at 115 with a few little notches left. So, I've been playing the expansion, and it's a lot of fun. I have to say, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really good expansion. And I play Horde. And
that was one of the things that I was going to ask is, are you Alliance or Horde?
I play Horde. Yeah, look, I mean, even just that is interesting. The lore of Warcraft is spectacular.
Yeah. And there's so much to it.
So much to it.
And then so, in this expansion, we get two new continents that you're exploring. You get Zandalar as the Horde.
Yep.
And it's Kultiras for the Alliance.
Yeah. So first, I'm glad you remembered it, because I know the Horde one. I haven't been to the Alliance one yet, and the names are tricky. But yes, so I do play Horde, and the story, the opening. So first of all, when you log in, and I'm sure a lot of people, look, in my guild, there's already literally 30 level 120s. So it's you blow by the 10 levels. I have a job and it's tougher for me, but I've been blowing by the levels. I'm already 115s, which is pretty damn good. But when you start the game, you're prompted to go to Orgrimmar, and Sylvanas tells you, the bleep is about to go down.
Right.
And then you cruise over to Silithus. That's what happens second. It starts off with the invasion of Lordaeron, which is the city, I believe, and look, my WoW lore isn't great. I'll be totally blunt about it. But Lordaeron, I believe, is the city that sits on top of Undercity.
Okay.
Do you know Undercity?
Yeah, I mean, vaguely.
Yeah,
there's so many names and stuff, because I have D&D lore kicking around in my head, and Dragon Age lore, and all kinds of things, and I'm trying to go back to the World of Warcraft.
So I actually might be wrong about this, and people are going to kill me because WoW fans are really intense. but look, so Undercity is where you start in the Horde, and there's this big attack on Undercity, and the Undercity's falling apart, and you go to Lordaeron where Sylvanas is, where this king, Wermin or whatever his name is, the king that you just mentioned, is coming to attack, and it's like basically like the Alliance and the Horde finally going at it. And I'll be honest with you, and like somebody who's out there who knows WoW lore, actually it would be a lot of fun to bring somebody who really knows the lore to come in and talk about it, because it's such an amazing story. And maybe somebody can explain to me why Sylvanas is so angry. Like, I don't get it. Like I don't understand why. Like, because the Horde, I've always loved this about WoW. The Horde and the Alliance, it's kind of gray. You don't know who the good guy is or the bad guy is. It's not black and white. Like, these guys are evil, these guys are good. They have different political beliefs and stuff like that.
Well, and I've been hearing this a lot from like people who are playing Horde, who have been playing Horde for a long time, that like now with this Sylvanas storyline, lighting the freaking world tree on fire, and just that, like, the reaction that I think they might have been going for, because you bring up a good point, is this idea of like, oh wow, that's dark even for that's dark even for the Horde. You know, a lot of people who are playing Horde are like, I might not be behind this. You know?
Yeah. And like Sylvanas definitely seems like she went to the dark. Like it's all dark side now.
Yeah.
You know. And anyway, there's a great cinematic. I'm not going to spoil it because it's actually really, really good cinematic, and it makes me a little look. I'm one of the few people that I've seen Duncan Jones's World of Warcraft like 3 or 4 times. Like, I actually enjoy it because my main character is an orc warrior. So I have this thing with the orcs. Like, I think the orc is a really cool race. And in the opening mission, like Sarafang, who's one of the great orc leaders, is pretty much the guy that you're sort of helping through this amazing opening quest. The opening quest is phenomenal. And with Duncan Jones and World of Warcraft, he did an amazing job like picturing the orcs. You know, like Gul'dan in that movie is amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so opening so back to the opening without spoilers. It's a very action-packed opening. It's like a 7 or 8 phase opening. So there's like you get thrown into a mission with like 20 other people, and then you go through this like basically this storyline that sets up why these 2 new continents even exist. You know, it's like discovering these 2 new continents. And God, I want to go into details on the story, but I won't because it's really good. And the game just came out, so spoiler free. But there's one thing that I will talk about, and there's one character that you meet who's has the ability to make people invisible around him within like a little like circle of invisibility. And there's a mission where you have to escape somewhere inside this little stealth circle, and it's so well done. It is so well done. I was like, when I was playing it, and it's just like a fun little bit that you go through like at the opening of the game. I was like, man, this is gorgeous, man. Like Blizzard really cares about what they do. And like, there's moments when you're playing that game where there's so much going on, and I play pretty wide out. Like, like I take the camera pretty far back, where I'm like, am I playing WoW or am I playing StarCraft? Like, this is just so awesome. Like, the amount of action that's on screen is so crazy.
Yeah.
And my frame rate's not dropping. How is that possible? Because I have everything set to the highest possible thing. Look, Blizzard is, I would argue to say that Blizzard is one of the probably top 10 most sophisticated software companies in the world, period.
Yeah. And then on top of that, to be able to chuck out such, in-depth lore and
amazing,
to be able to like have such a devoted fan base. I mean, this is one of the things that, like, there's so many people who play this game in different ways and for different reasons, like whether you're into the lore, whether you're into the mechanics, whether you're into like the art
PvP,
style,
which is what I play for.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. I love the PvP, and the PvP season is off right now, so there's no PvP season. You can still do skirmishes, you can still random battlegrounds, but what I like playing is the ranked arena seasons with like I have a few good friends that we do a 2v2 team and a 3v3 team. And with the guild, sometimes we'll do the 10v10s rated battlegrounds. But that's not happening yet. They're waiting for people to get leveled up and stuff.
Right.
But yeah.
So one of the things that I thought was really cool that they're doing this time around, and maybe it's been a mechanic before, But because this is the battle for Azeroth, and because you have these 2 new continents, one is Alliance, one is Horde, there is a mechanic where you can go over to the other land and start claiming territories.
The war mode, yeah. So to be honest with you, I haven't done a ton of war mode because I've been in grind mode.
Yeah, you want to level up to be able to.
Yeah, like I want to be like level up and get hit 120. At least have one character hit 120, and then just go on a gear grind. But the war mode is very similar to what in Legion was the mode where you can send people out on missions and stuff. So there's a lot of those like bot missions that you can do in war mode. But to be honest with you, I haven't dug too deep into war mode yet. I know that a lot of the YouTube videos that I was watching where they were kind of giving me tips on, because when you're about to level WoW, it's pretty like massive. So, what are the best techniques for efficient leveling? So I saw a few videos, and a few videos did recommend that you don't let the war mode fall too far behind because it actually helps with the leveling. But I haven't really gone too deep into it.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm interested to see what that does, like, how they're going to dynamically change the ending of this based on what happens in war mode, because that, I think, is going to be a really cool way to implement stuff. One
cool thing in war mode that I am very familiar with, and that actually did help me out a lot, is that in Warcraft now, how like, I don't know how long it's been that you played.
It's been a long time.
The more PvP you do, you earn honor, and then you unlock PvP talents. And those PvP talents you can only use in PvP context, right? In arenas, in battlegrounds, and stuff like that. And they're actual abilities, right? Yeah. Like there's like snare breaks, and there's like focus, and there's all kinds of abilities that you get through PvP. Now, if you're in a major city, either Orgrimmar or Stormwind, those are the only 2 cities you can do it. You can actually set your character to war mode, and which means that anybody can attack you anywhere, right? Where before you had PvP servers and PvE servers, now it's irrelevant. Now it's just a matter of, do you pick war mode or not war mode?
Do you opt into it or not?
Yeah, do you opt into it or not? And if you do opt into it, they give you some bonuses. They give you a leveling bonus, so you get like extra XP if you're leveling in the world in war mode. And they let you use the PvP talents in the normal world.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So I've been leveling so far in war mode. I haven't really I've gotten ganked a few times. I've done some ganking on my own. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes if I see red, it's like I can't help myself. I just go for it, even though most of the time I get slaughtered. But like when you see red running around and it's like another tune, I'm like,
it's a beacon.
Yeah. It's like it's a stake. I'm just like, I'm gunning for it. But it's a cool addition to the game that it lets you use PvP talents that are so useful, like the medallion that breaks roots and stuff like that. You can use them now in the real world, or the real world, Jesus, in the open world. Yeah.
So one of the things that did change is that the artifact weapons from Legion.
Oh yeah.
They're not around anymore, and now
gone.
It's that Azerite system instead.
The Azerite system, yes, with the heart of Azeroth.
Yes.
So the heart of Azeroth, is a item that goes in your neck slot, and you collect Azerite, and as you build more Azerite, it levels up, and the higher level that it has, you have Azerite gear now, special gear that has abilities built into it that you unlock based on the level of your heart of Azeroth.
So do you have to spend the level, or is it basically like anything that you have equipped that uses Azerite all levels up together based on the necklace?
So you have to choose what abilities you get. You unlock them based on how much Azerite you have. But that's a really good question. To be honest with you, I don't know. Because right now I have 3 pieces of Azerite gear, but then again, I'm only level 115 or whatever it is. So I haven't, it's the same 3 pieces, and I've been leveling up those pieces. I don't know if I get a brand new piece.
Does it all come up to that same, yeah.
Is it automatically there, or do I have to regrind it? It's actually a really good question. I actually don't know the answer to that, but it's a really good question. I'm not sure.
Well, you're going to have to rush home and find out.
Right. But to your point, they basically took the artifact system of the weapons, eliminated that, so now those weapons are useless. And you could probably still use them for the first 2 or 3 levels, and then you'll quickly upgrade, depending on how much raiding you did in Legion. But then, all that's shifted over to the gear.
So, you know, when the gear changes, when you know that stuff that you had in the previous, like your previous build, you know you're going to have to abandon because there's new mechanics and there's new, you know, like weapon systems and stuff like that. Have you ever been tempted by any like the new races that came out? Because there's 3
the allied races.
Yeah, there's 3 allied races that joined for Horde and 3 for Alliance this time around.
Yeah, so I'm not really tempted because again, I love playing. So I have a few characters. I have my orc warrior. I have an undead mage, and I have a Tauren paladin that I just recently boosted to 110 because I'd never played paladin before. And my buddy, who's in my 2v2 team, he plays paladin, and I play arms warrior. So I'm arms warrior, he's holy paladin, and we've been able to get to like 1.8k rating, and I've never gotten to 2k. One day I will. I talk about it like it's like a life goal mission, but 1.8k rating in PvP is pretty good. You got to beat a lot of people to get there. 2k is like where it starts getting serious,
Right.
And we've never quite pushed that, but I've played with him so much that I became obsessed with his paladin. So I boosted my own paladin and I made him a Tauren because he had like a blood elf. So, my orc, my undead, and my Tauren, that's all I really have. I think, what are the new Horde races?
So there's the Mag'har orcs, there's the High Mountain Tauren, and then there's the Nightborn.
Oh, okay.
That got added.
So the orc one could be interesting for me, but I believe to unlock the allied races, you got to do this quest line that's like super long or something. Is that true?
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like you can't just automatically get it. You have to go through this like super long.
Process.
Yeah, it's a process.
Okay.
Like to be honest with you, and like the hardcore nerds out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I don't even have flying in Legion, so like in Legion you have to do this crazy quest, or you have to not only one quest, you got to complete like all this stuff to get flying in Legion. I don't even have that.
Right.
It's too much grinding for me.
Well, it's always interesting to talk to you about what games you're playing and find out, because like I said, I haven't played WoW in a long time, but this is getting me excited to play it again.
It's really good.
It's getting me excited to find things out. I might have to borrow a laptop from here and do some research at home.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. Man, it's fun and it's so clean. It's like driving like a Ferrari. It's like is it the greatest game I've ever played? No, I'll still say Star Wars Galaxies is my favorite game. But that's from an ambition perspective. What they were trying to do is everything I've always wanted in a video game. Did they do it perfect? No, not even close. It was a disaster at times. But the mere fact that it was the only one that I know that truly tried to say, here's an open world, have fun.
Right.
Where it's like build your own economy, build your own cities. Like you want to hate this person, hate them. And you can talk to them and you can put propaganda against them and you can have a war. It was literally it felt like you were in a galactic civil war every time you logged into that game. It was incredible. The Jedi were super rare, super overpowered. But getting one was the most incredible thing that you can ever have in a game. So it became very special until it wasn't. But with WoW, it's so balanced. It's so clean. It's so, again, the lore is incredible. The lore is absolutely incredible. The graphics are like amped up for this expansion. So they're just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I don't know where the player base is at now in WoW. Like I know for like at its peak, I know it reached like 11 million, 12 million users, active monthly users. I don't know where it's at now. I think I've heard numbers like in the 3 to 4 range, which is still incredible. But I'm sure that because of that Battle for Azeroth, it'll peak back up for at least a few months.
I know on Twitch for sure it overtook Dota and Fortnite for a while, and Dota's having championships at the moment, which is why it was up so high.
Oh wow!
So it was over, like 200,000 people concurrently
just
streaming
the grind.
Yeah. More than 200,000. I think it got up to like 250,000 at certain times when I was checking in.
Wow.
But yeah, people are definitely playing it. We'll see what everyone feels like when they've completed through it or ground down a little bit.
Do you still have your tune?
I don't know. I'll have to check my Battle.net account, honestly. Yeah. I jumped in at Cataclysm, played Cataclysm, and then fell out.
Yeah. I didn't. Cataclysm, there were some things that I liked about it because I believe Cataclysm is the one that gave us arenas for the first time.
Oh, was that the first time that happened?
Yeah. It was the first one that we had arenas. And for me, that was like a godsend because Star Wars Galaxies, for everything that it did with the community and with the world building and all those things, ultimately, all Star Wars Galaxies was just a gigantic PvP free-for-all. I mean, that's really what it was. So PvP is always what I'm the most attracted to. And yeah, Cataclysm is when the arenas started, totally random. But because I'm so into PvP recently, maybe we can talk about this another day, but I reinstalled America's Army.
America's Army.
Yeah. I hadn't played that in years and I was looking for a really good FPS experience and I reinstalled America's Army. Maybe you and I, do you play FPS?
Yeah.
Do you like FPS?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I like it.
Have you ever played America's Army?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll leave that discussion for another time. But I really, really enjoyed myself playing that game again. And that game came out in 2004, so that game's been around since before. I believe it came out around the same time that Star Wars Galaxies came out, and it's still around.
Wow.
Yeah. It's and this is the game that's funded by the Army.
All right, well, let's pick it up and let's play it.
Yeah. So anyway, so look, it's World of Warcraft, so we can't get too deep in the weeds with the abilities and the this and the that. And yes, for all you guys that played Legion towards the end when Patch 8 came out and were a little annoyed at Patch 8, Patch 8 makes more sense when you get to the Zuldazar or whatever.
The Zandalar, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Guys, thank you so much for checking out our thoughts here on Collider Games. This is not a review. This is not a breakdown of everything that's going on in World of Warcraft. This is just, you've been playing it, you've been loving it, and you want to share your thoughts. I mean, that honestly, I'm always so excited to hear your thoughts on games because your perspective is so cool. And I hope you guys all find it cool as well. You guys can check out me on Twitter and Instagram, Joey Rassool, RASSOOL. And if you're looking for more of Marc's thoughts, well, you can check him out here on Collider Games.
That's right. Thank you very much. Let's do it. Let's do it again. America's Army next time.